Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast. I am Scoots Bronson, and I did that all wrong.
Hi, it's all good, man. And I am S. Foster.
That's right, man. And you tuned in to another episode where we give you movies and TV reviews straight out of Hollywood. And I said that wrong.
Yo, but I see what kind of pod this
I
is
messed
gonna
that
be
whole
today.
intro up. Oh, I messed that whole intro up, man. What's going on, man?
Man, I can't call it, man. Just another day living on the earth, man. I'm just trying to survive out here in these streets, man. How you feeling though?
I hear that. I'm feeling a lot better, brother. You know what I'm saying? My back is feeling a lot better. It's getting there slowly but surely, but you know what I'm saying? Taking it day by day.
Man, that's all you can do, man. Take it day by day, man.
Yeah, man.
And a new day of waking up, just another opportunity to do something else better, man.
For sure, man. But yo, you know what I'm saying? We've been watching some super dope content, you know what I'm saying, over this week. Hey, you hit me on the line and was like, man, you got to watch this. And we found a good one. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's get into what we watching, man.
Man, let's do it.
What we watching?
What we watching?
Yo, so what you got up first, man?
All right, what I got up first, man, is this movie that I found. It just came out on HBO Max last week, and I watched it, when we got done doing the pod last Friday. And it's a movie that is directed by Olivia Wilde. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We spoke about her when we did the Lazarus Effect.
Lazarus Effect.
And she's in it, but she's not the main character. But she's
Right.
in it. Harry Styles is in it. Florence Pugh is in it. That's the girl that plays Natasha Romanoff's sister.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's in it. Chris Pine is in it. But it's called Don't Worry, Darling.
Okay.
And it is something that when I watched the trailer of it, I was like, okay, like it seems kind of interesting. Like it seems like it's like based in like maybe the 50s, 30s, 50s. And it's like it shows this like where all the men would leave and go to work, all the women staying at home and they're cleaning, cooking, all this type shit. So it seems like what's weird about the town is just like everybody's like basically running on the same clock, and you're like something's off, like about this town, like something's not right.
Oh, I
So
know exactly what you're talking about now. I know
Yeah,
exactly what you're
and
talking about now.
yeah, and it's like the more you watch it, the more you know what I'm saying, they start peeling, you know what I'm saying, peeling the orange, and it's like, yo, like this shit is crazy. And then you kind of find out like there's like somebody, it kind of reminded me like of like Divergent, right? So you
Yeah.
remember how in Divergent where like everybody went to their certain places or whatever, like you did this test and you
Mm-hmm.
went to a place, but if you were Divergent, you couldn't never pass any of the tests, like in the like
Right.
so like people was out to kill you. Well, in
Right.
this, if you start to notice that things aren't what they seem, people start to shun you, say you're crazy, all this
Yeah.
type of shit. And come to find out, basically what it is, yeah, this is a spoiler alert podcast. So basically, like these motherfuckers are like dreaming,
Mm-hmm.
like they're not really living the life that they're. It's just like they're really just doing it in their head. It's like there's these uh like some kind of laser type things like the sit like you're just like your body is laying in a bed. And like
Yeah.
there's these laser things in front of your eyes that's like projecting you like into that world. So your
Right.
body's not moving, but
Like
your
some
mind
Matrix shit.
is. Yeah. Like
Okay.
it's
Is Chris Pine, his character's name is Frank.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yo, let me. So
Yep.
I seen a preview of this on on TikTok. I was
Hmm.
scrolling through TikTok and I seen this, like I seen the scene where they at the dinner table and old girl
Yeah.
start realizing that it
Yes.
ain't. Yeah.
Yes.
So when I seen that, I was like, "Yo, this shit look good." I couldn't figure out what the name of it was, but I'm glad you said that though, because I'm definitely about to go check this out.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's wild as fuck, man. It's not what you expect it to be, but like once and then then you find out so I'll give you one nugget, right? So like Olivia
Yeah.
Wilde's character is Alice's best friend.
Okay.
And so there's this black lady that it starts off with, and like the lady was like, I don't supposed to be here, this and
Mm-hmm.
that. So everybody's trying to like talk her down. But then once, because see what it was is she figured out that it wasn't like quote unquote real. So she ended up killing
Right.
herself. So when Alice started to talk to her, then Alice started to notice that shit was off. She was like, yo, something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So when Alice figured out what was going on, because her husband knew about it, and what it was it, dude. First of all, don't make no decision like this. I'm sorry, I gotta do this. Don't make no decision for me without talking to me first. Yo, so
Exactly.
Alice Alice was a nurse, or what I think she no, she was a doctor. She was a doctor, and like she pulled
Mm-hmm.
crazy hours. Like my man, I don't really know what he was doing. Like he was always at home on the computer, so I don't know if he worked from home. But like, so Alice was
Yeah.
always like tired because she was a doctor and she would work a whole bunch of shifts, and like, so her home life was really kind of non-existent because she was always working. So my
Mm-hmm.
man found out about this whole little program joint and just put her in the shit and said that. And when she figured it out, she was like, "Yo, why would you do this?" He was like, "You was unhappy." She was like, "No, the fuck I wasn't." And he was like,
Right.
"All you
She's
did
like, I'm
was
just
work."
working.
She said, "I love working. Like you don't put me in this simulation. And I ain't even fucking want to be here. Yo, don't
Right.
pull no shit like that on me, man, without talking to me, man. Like that's
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
that shit is crazy, yo. I'm talking about it's wild, but I think you'll fuck with it because it's in that sci-fi, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, type of feel thing. So yeah, man, it's definitely not what I thought it was gonna be. So y'all need to check out Don't Worry Darling on HBO Max.
Definitely, man. So what I got is on Netflix. I just scrolled, you know what I'm saying, through the movies and TV shows trying to find something to watch while I was going to sleep. And unfortunately, I could not go to sleep because this show was very, very interesting. Basically it's this show called 1899, and what it looks like is they're on this boat that resembles the Titanic. However, the boat is not the Titanic. I forgot what the boat is called, but it's a bunch of different people on there. It's a bunch of rich people, a bunch of poor people. You know what I'm saying? 1899. You all can, you know what I'm saying, let that go to your imagination. But somehow the boat is going to a destination that they don't know where it is, and I believe that they're going towards the Bermuda Triangle, and they have no idea that that's where they're going. I don't know what destination they're going to yet. I'm only on episode 2, but when I tell you, bro, this is super super good. Like it's a bunch of different people. Like, and then it's like, usually when you see um shows like this or movies like this, like it's all English people or it's all, what I'm saying, like people of one country. It's a group of different people, and they all like just rich people. So it's literally like rich people, poor people. It ain't no in between. Like it ain't no specific set of people. So like it's a dude on there that, what I'm saying, he with his wife, and they really don't want to be married or whatever. And I think so right now, I think that she's tricked him into marrying her, and she using him for his money. And then it's another group on there where it's the Japanese lady and her servant. And then it's another group on there where it's just either they daughters, mother and daughter, or sisters. I don't know yet. I still haven't got that one yet. But the youngest is like a nurse or whatever. She's studying for like brains or something like that. And then she ended up like helping this lady. This lady was having she pregnant, and she was having these pains. So you know what I'm saying. The one dude, he come up from the lower deck and he go upstairs like, "Yo, I need a doctor. I know one of y'all up here, a doctor. Like this, what y'all do?" I know one of y'all up here, doctor, my wife need help. You know, said she hurting. I think she about to have a baby. So they kicked my man out. They throw my man down the stairs and was like, "Don't bring your ass back up here." Basically, she didn't listen, so she follow him. She go down there and she helped the lady. The baby was just trapped up in the umbilical cord. So she figured a way, you know what I'm saying, to get the baby out the umbilical cord while it's still in the stomach. She pressing on the stomach and all that. So she helped the lady out. So everybody down there, like, you know what I'm saying, they thanking her, they giving her, you know what I'm saying, whatever gift they could give her or whatever. And then she go back upstairs and then, you know what I'm saying, like something happened to where she realized like this shit ain't what it is. But she's coming to realization that this ship is either something is wrong with this ship or the place that they going on this ship, they ain't supposed to be going. And she's the first one to come to terms with everything that's going on. So I mean, it's a good show. I was captivated by the first episode. I had to turn it off so I could go to bed. Because if not, I was gonna stay up all night and watch this joint. So I'm midway through episode 2. Y'all go check it out. It's called 1899. It's on Netflix. It is definitely worth a watch. And then last but not least, man, this is the one you hit me with. You know what I'm saying? You told me, I think it was what, yesterday? You hit me up and you was
Uh,
like, hey
I
man,
think it was. Yeah, it was either yesterday or the day before.
yeah, it was one of these days you hit me. I had woke up late night and I looked like, when the fuck he text me this? I had fell asleep. Wake up, I'm looking. So I'm like, man, let me check this out. I get home, you know what I'm saying? I'm checking out the TV, looking through my messages. When I seen that one, I said, oh yeah, let me go back and check this. So I go find it. Get to watching it. Man, let me tell you something about this, bro. You talking about corruption. You talking about scandal. You talking about all this great stuff. This is probably one of the best documentaries on air right now, man. We talk about Low Country on HBO Max. Go check this joint out. This is a S dot exclusive. If you ain't listen, if you ain't ride with my man on anything, bro, you better listen to him on this one. Cause this shit, I'm talking about. Listen, if y'all like all that housewives shit, if y'all like Scandal and all that Shonda Rhimes shit, this is Shonda Rhimes. She couldn't dream of a better show than this, bro. I'm talking about she would be salivating if somebody wrote this in the script and brought this to her and was like, I got one. She would have a fiesta right now, bro. Man, listen. 100 years of what was they call them solicitors, but they like the DA basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
a
basically.
hundred years, yeah. So 100 years of being a DA through this family called the Murdochs. It's the Murdochs or the Murdochs. I think it's the Murdochs. But
Yeah, Murdoch.
100, yeah, 100 years of being a DA. Then one of them says, "Nah, I ain't gonna be no DA. I'm gonna be a lawyer." So not only do you got the DAs in the family, they got the lawyers in the family. Not only do they got hella DAs and lawyers in the family. Everybody's scared of these people. They in a small town. They know all the police. They know all the state troopers. Not only is that the thing, though, these niggas got a spoiled brat for a grant for the youngest family man, right? This nigga killed somebody in a boat accident, tries to set somebody up. Or his best friend tries to set his
Best
best
friend.
friend up. Does not succeed in setting his best friend up. This nigga ends up on trial. Next thing you know, him and his mom done got smoked in the house, shot up. Then some random kid is in the middle of the street with his head bashed in. Come to find out, it's a young gay kid that went to school with the kid that got shot up, that supposedly has an affair with this kid or some kind of relationship with this kid. Next thing you know, the dad of the kid who got shot up along with his mom, this nigga, he puts a hit out on himself and fails. So to cover all that up, he says, "Yo, man, I got an opioid addiction. I need to go to rehab." Tries to go to rehab, going to rehab, knowing that if he go to rehab, they can't do nothing with him. They gotta wait till he get out of rehab so he could at least lay low in rehab. Tries to set his best friend up. Come to find out his best friend said, fuck that. That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that shit. Best friend get out scot-free, and that's where I end.
Man,
So what
listen,
happens after that?
Man, listen, you didn't even get to see like you watched the third episode, man. It's so much more
Man,
shit to be uncovered. And we're talking about I don't think people understand the significance of what you're saying. We're talking about
man.
this family, the Murdochs, has been in the solicitor's office in a small town in South Carolina in the low country since
Mm-hmm.
1920.
1920,
People,
y'all.
1920. Like the first
It
like
went
great
from the
grandpa.
first one. Yeah, it went from the
It,
first one
it,
to
it
his
went the
son
great
to his
grandpa to the
grandson.
grandpa to the yeah man, this is crazy. So then, right? So what you missed out on, come to find out, they had a what do you call it? Before this is before the wife and the son got killed.
Yeah.
They housekeeper, she
Fell down
fucking
the
dies at the
stairs.
house.
Yeah, fell down
Supposedly
the
fell down
stairs
the stairs.
by the
They said
dogs.
by the dog. The dog knocked her down the stairs.
Come on,
so
man. Come on,
so
man.
then this is the thing. The family of the housekeeper, like the guy goes up, like the lawyer guy goes over, look, we gonna take care of you, blase, blase, all this type stuff. So they pull out this whole insurance policy thing to where the boy, her son would get, I can't remember the exact number, let's say it's 500,000.
Mm-hmm.
How about they don't give my boy nothing?
You don't give him nothing. This nigga been stealing
Nothing.
from
This month been still
all his
all
clients.
his clients.
Every last one of them.
This
Dead or
motherfucker,
alive.
he done racked up $8.5 million, people.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
And then this is the crazy part. This is where you haven't got to yet, I don't believe. So
Yeah.
when it comes to the murder of the woman and the son, he's the prime suspect, and he's the one who did the shit because she was about to
After
divorce
trying to
him.
kill himself.
Yeah, after trying to kill himself, he was like, he knew that she was about to divorce him, and if she
Mm-hmm.
divorced him, we know what's gonna come up, finances,
Money,
and he
money,
knew
money,
his finances.
money.
Well, that too, but he knew all of that dirty shit he was doing. All of that shit was
Mm-hmm.
gonna come up, so he was like, the
No,
only way to do
no,
this shit.
don't let his friend tell it. Don't let his friend tell it, because let his friend tell it. They were the perfect couple. You know what I'm saying? They were never on the verge of divorce. You know what I'm saying? They was tweeting each other every day and texting and having great conversations, all that good stuff. Like he would know.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah, yo, this shit was so wild. Like to see like
perfection.
towards the end, and then yo, like what he had did when it comes to there was one case where somebody, I think it might have been the family of the boy that got his head bashed in, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had got a check for, I want to say it was like $2 million or some shit like that. So what he did
Yeah.
was, this how sophisticated this motherfucker was. So he was like, all right, right, this is how I'm gonna get around this shit. So there was a company that was like Forge something or something like that, right? So what he did was they wrote the check out just to Forge, not the rest of the name of the one company, right? So what he does
Mm-hmm.
is he goes to his bank, creates like a new like account under a new business called Forge. So nobody could see that he put that money in that account, cause so he had like a whole separate other account. Yo, man, when I tell you
Oh yeah,
this
they
shit
some dirt
is
bags, bro.
they straight dirt bags, yo. And then like
Yeah.
there's like all it's like every time like and then it would be situations where like people would see like put it this way, just there's all of these bodies that keep adding up, and all of the fingers
Mm-hmm.
pointing back to the damn Murdochs, and it's like
They
everybody
all
in the
got
town,
something to do with them though.
yeah, and it's like everybody's scared to talk because they knew people came up missing, all types of shit. It's really a good doc, man. Shout out to my guy Tyrone Collins because he had messaged me
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yo," he's like, "You need to watch this." And so I was like, "All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it a shot." Because me and him, we watch a lot of the same similar shit. And
Mm-hmm.
man, it was like once I watched one episode, because I was gonna
Oh
watch
yeah.
one, I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
"Nah, let me get
Yeah,
the nut."
right. Once that
Let
first
me get a
episode
nut.
is over with, yeah. once that first episode is over with, you got to go back for more.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we definitely gonna get into this a whole lot more exclusively later on.
For sure, for sure. Got to do that. So listen, man, getting into our, what I'm saying, main course or what we would call the feature presentation. This movie came out in 2004 and it is starring Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning, who I am really not a fan of, but I mean she's a little kid in this, so I kind of I kind of went along with it, man. We talking about Man on Fire, man. So you already know before we actually get into the movie, let's get into the trailer, man. Let's do this real quick.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go get her. Anyone who gets in my way, anybody who profited from it, anybody who opens their eyes at me, I'm gonna kill him.
Tell me about Chrissy. I'd like to understand him. A man can be an honest in anything.
It depends on how good he is at it.
Chrissy's art is dead. He's about to paint his masterpiece.
So, Man on Fire. Going back watching this, instant thoughts.
Well, let me clarify something that I said in the coming soon. It's what this movie is. It isn't like a true story,
Right.
but
It's
it
based
is
on true
taken.
events,
It's based. Yeah, it's based on true events, and it's from a book. From a book that came out in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the book is also called Man on Fire, but
Yeah.
they also took like true events and just kind of created a story around the type of thing. But
Mm-hmm.
so I just wanted to clarify that. But like going back and watching it, like I forgot how good it was, and to dude, I don't know why you hating on Dakota Fanning so much, man. Look,
In this
like
movie, she was good.
she was phenomenal to be the age that she was.
Yeah.
The what she was able to pull off, but no, but like going back and watching it, like I really forgot like how good it was, and like to see a man who is who is broken, a man that's looking for forgiveness, and like a dude that was given a second chance. I think that
Mm-hmm.
what she was able to do for him, because the way for him to be going in it the way that he went into it to be the bodyguard, to see how he was serious. He wasn't trying to build a relationship. He was like, I'm not your toy. And then it was
Right.
like, once he seen like a little opening, like she really kind of gave him like a second chance at life. And to watch that transformation, and then to see how much they grown, what I'm saying, to each other, and then for her to get kidnapped, and for the outcome to be what it was. Like I just really just forgot how good it was. You know what I'm saying? How well, and look,
Yeah.
Tony Scott is a guy that needs to be mentioned more, because like uh Tony Scott got a good fucking resume, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really go back and look at like a lot of the shit that Tony Scott did, like this motherfucker, he been killing shit for years. But I'm doing a lot of rambling, man. But you going back and watching this, what was your thoughts?
So my first time seeing this, I think I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school. So it was just a movie, you know what I'm saying? You watch the movies, you don't really care about what's going on. It was a good movie, but like going back and watching it now, like this movie was amazing. First and foremost, the character progression of Denzel Washington was great because like you said, it shows him being like a real stone cold guy, you know what I'm saying, real hardened. And then as he spent more time with Dakota Fanning's character Peter or Lupita, um, you kind of seeing how he was battling with some things and dealing with some things, and she kind of helped him, saying get over that in a sense. And seeing that on film is real difficult within that time span. Even though it's a 2 hour movie, it's still kind of difficult within that time span when you got somebody who you're trying to kind of show go through something, but at the same time still show him like, you know, developing. And you know what I'm saying, with Denzel, it's not really a hard thing because I mean he's Denzel, but you know what I'm saying, he does a great job of showing you that. And so at first, like you said, you know, him talking to her in the car and telling her like, you know, I'm hired to do a job. You know, I can't be your friend. I'm here to do a job for you. If I'm, you know what I'm saying, your friend, I'm gonna be off my game. And then as time goes on and the more time that he has to spend with her and you start to see her parents are doing certain things because, you know what I'm saying, they have influence. And then, you know, you realize, okay, he's actually starting to care about this little girl. And so after a while, you start to see that I don't think that he was more so scared to be her friend. I think it was more so just the fact that he was going through his own situations. And now that, you know what I'm saying, he spent that time with her and he started to see like she was actually a cool little girl. She's smart as hell too, but she was actually a
Oh
cool
yeah.
little girl. You know, he started going through that and, you know what I'm saying, started being more so of a friend to her. And then just, you know what I'm saying, actually being more so of a parent figure to her too. You know, he was helping her with her swimming and he was helping her with her homework. And then, you know what I'm saying, the fact that her parents weren't there, she actually had somebody there to actually care for her, not just watch over her because the parents hired them to. So I thought that was dope to see. And then with her character, her being um as advanced as she was at such a young age, like that helped the story as well. Because you don't just have this little girl who's like she twirling around, you know what I'm saying? She got unicorns all over the place, she chewing bubble gum, she ditzy, she don't know what's going on, she unaware. Like this little girl was smart. Like this little girl came in, she knew Spanish, she was talking to everybody. Then not only did she know Spanish, you know what I'm saying? She was in there, she was aware of what was going on when the car was following. She knew to write down the license plate numbers. She knew what was going on in the environment. So that was, you know what I'm saying, that was super helpful too, because now you see like this isn't just any little girl. Like this little girl is significantly different. Outside of the fact that her dad was supposed to be Mexican and she was a whole white girl and her mom was a white woman. And her dad was Mark Anthony. So that kind of threw me off because I was sitting there like, was this her stepdad? Because I forgot like that was her real dad in the movie. So I'm sitting here like, is this her step? No, this her real daddy. Like, nah, bro. But outside of that, that's the only thing that threw me off. I started laughing at that. I'm like, bro, ain't no way in real life that's her real daddy, bro. Come on, man. But yeah, outside of that, man, it was just a great story. Shout out to Christopher Walken. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Anything he's in,
Mhm.
I'm with it. Christopher Walken is like John Malkovich to me. Like anything that they're in, I gotta watch it, bro. I gotta watch it. At least one time, I gotta watch it. So, you know what I'm saying? Christopher Walken did a great job. Shout out to oh, what's his name that played the lawyer? Oh, his name's slipping me
Oh,
right now.
Mickey
He
Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah. Shout out to Mickey Rourke too. He did a great job for the little time he had on film. He did a
Yeah.
great job. He was such an asshole as a lawyer, bro. But he did a great job playing a lawyer. And you know what I'm saying? Like to me, everything kind of came together. Um, and then like the another thing is the fact that they set the story up great in the movie too. The movie was already shot beautifully, but they set the story up great too because once it comes on there, they automatically tell you, you know, there's so many kidnappings in Mexico City, and then you know 70% of those, you know, they don't end up successful. And then they show you the little boy, or not the little boy, but the young dude get kidnapped. He get his ear cut off, and then you know what I'm saying. After they give him the money, he get put out on the highway or the freeway or whatever. So they do a great job of setting it up within, I think it was like maybe a span of like maybe 30 to 45 seconds. It wasn't even a full minute. And it kind of
Yeah.
gave you the tone of the movie instantly. So Tony Scott did a great job at putting this together, man. He really did.
Look. So check this out. So
Hmm.
Tony Scott. So I'm gonna put my fingers up for how many times Denzel Washington have done the Tony Scott movie. Okay.
I can
So
only
we got
imagine.
Unstoppable, which I
Hmm.
thought was good. The Taking the Pelham 1, 2, 3. Now this
Hmm.
is just stuff that he directed. Deja Vu.
Hmm.
And he did Domino. Domino is a dope ass movie.
Hmm.
Man on Fire. All right. He did The Hire. Let me see. Spy Game.
Hmm.
He did Enemy of the State. He did
Hmm.
The Fan. He did Crimson Tide. It's another Denzel. He did True Romance. He did The Last Boy Scout. Days of Thunder. Beverly Hills Cop 2, which was the best one. Top Gun, dude. It's more
Yeah.
movies, but like those are bangers, yo.
Even though
Like bang and
Thunder and
5
Top Gun
Denzel
is
Washington
technically the
movies.
same movie.
We've already done this. One is in the car, one is in the plane. We get it.
Who are they
But
both
yo,
starring? Who are they both starring?
Tom Cruise. Both starring
Let's see.
Tom Cruise.
Same
But
movie, different vehicle.
but yo, Tony Scott got a crazy resume, yo. He got a crazy resume. And then like, obviously him and Denzel got a rapport, man. Because Denzel, he got a rapport with him, he got a rapport with Spike Lee, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I like how, like Denzel is not an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very particular about what he chooses. And that's what really surprised me about that one movie that he did with Jared Leto, because it was just like, yo, like
Yeah.
that movie, The Little Things, it just wasn't good to
Yeah.
me. But anyway,
It must have been the script.
but yeah, I mean, it could have been a script. It, I don't know, man. It was just a movie that I seen it once, and it just like I would never go back to this movie again.
Right.
But yeah, Man on Fire was crazy, and like you had brought up the point of like when they was riding in the car one day, and she was asking him questions about what she was just saying that 24 kids have been kidnapped this month or something like that. That's 4 a day, and he was like 4 a day, really?
Yeah.
And, he was like, you know too much about this, and then we
Yeah.
just like you were saying, she was so advanced for her age, for her to be knowing the things that she knew, but like. But what I wanted to get into was what we believe Creasy's background was. Obviously, he was military, and it's just
Marine. He was in the Marines. He did recon. He was a counter. He was in counterterrorism,
counterterrorism.
and then it was something else that he had, but they didn't say. But it was a whole list of stuff that he had on there though.
And
Special
it's just like I
forces. That's
feel
what it
like,
was.
yeah, and it's just like to think about some of the things that he done. Like he was really like him and Paul. Like Paul was able to. He was able to get married and kind of let the past be the
And
past.
I said I think that's what helped him.
And Creasy, he just drowned himself in alcohol, which you were speaking about. Yo, can't nobody play a better drunk than Denzel Washington. I'm sorry,
At all.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
At
Yo,
all.
like I was telling you, man, in the post, I was like, yo, when I was watching Flight, thinking that shit was real. Like I was like, yo, like don't drink again, man. I was like, man, just put it down,
Said,
man.
put the
Like just
damn
put it
bottle
down.
down, man.
I was hurt, man. I was hurt, and it was just like to watch Denzel to be able to to play intoxicated, and for him to drown himself in his sorrows, because Paul was able to get married and kind of, I think that he just had something to keep his mind off of what they done, and it's just like to think about some of the things that he possibly done.
Yeah.
And for him to ask him, yo, do you think that that we would be forgiven? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think God will forgive us for what we done? And I think that he was really trying to not necessarily drink himself to death, but to drink to forget, but then to try to take his own life. Like they had to do some bad shit together, yo. Like they had to.
I mean, when you in that type of work, like special forces, recon, counterterrorism, like bro, ain't no telling what type of situations you done been in and what you done had to do. And then you also got to remember, like, those are the types of things that, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the dudes who, at the end of the day, when they say, yeah, we got to make sure this is off the books, them the dudes that they going to send. You know what I'm saying? When you hear about certain leaders getting assassinated or people come up missing, like them the dudes that be in the shadows. So I can only imagine the type of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, like that they really had to go through.
Yeah, he's seen heard about it, and to see, and I like how they brought the bullet full circle, because He
Mm-hmm.
was in the room, and this was, and I think what was the last straw was to see that, like, so to draw the picture for people. So after he had the conversation, because Peter was sitting up front, and so she was talking. He was like, "Yo, like, I'm not your friend. They don't pay me to be your friend. You know, blase, blase, all this type shit." And
Mm-hmm.
so when the car stopped, like, she opened up the door and she got in the back seat, and like, I think he was hurt by that. I think that he was just like, "Fuck," like, I didn't mean to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that was the last straw for him. And so he went back. He got the
I don't
gun,
think
put the
so.
bullet in there. So you don't think that's what? I mean, listen, he was already on the brink.
I think
He
it
was
was
already on the
it
brink.
was when the mom had came and talked to him because he was already, like, he was already going through whatever he was going through, and that's another thing. Like, they give you like little glimpses of stuff to kind of tell you,
Hmm.
like, what I'm saying, he went through some things, but they never explain what he's done or what he went through. And so you kind of see, I mean, you kind of know that he's going through it already. But when the mom had came and talked to him and he was dealing with that, like, that that stone, what I'm saying, like, that stone heart thing had kind of went to the wayside, because it was like, he don't got no family, he don't got no kids, what I'm saying, he don't got a wife, so he doesn't know how it is to have kids. And then she reminded him of that, like, yo, you don't have kids. He was like, I already told you I didn't. She was like, yeah. So, what I'm saying, they persistent. The only thing she want to do is have a friend. Like, you got to imagine being the kid in that situation, going through everything that kids are going through in that area. Like, yo, she just wants somebody to kick it with. She can't go kick it outside of that because it's a risk of her being kidnapped. And then,
Yeah,
like, I think as time is going, he's realizing that, and he's like, yo, what I'm saying, the one thing I had to do was basically just make sure this kid was cool. And I think that in that moment, when the bullet clicked and then nothing happened, I think that it, what I'm saying, he realized that it wasn't meant for him to, what I'm saying,
to
that to
die.
me, that was a
Like, he had a
great,
bigger
yeah, like,
purpose.
yeah, that was a great change for the story, because after that, that's when you see him starting to warm up to her. He stopped drinking so much, what I'm saying? And then after a while, he screwed the cat back on and was like, nah, I ain't even gonna drink tonight. So, like, he just got a lot more on his game. And then I think another thing was, because he was a Marine and because of the background that he had, when he seen her swimming, I think that's what made that connection a lot more too, is because, what I'm saying, they got to do a lot of swimming and being in the water and stuff like that. So that kind of gave them something to connect on. But before that, when they were in the car, I think another thing too, um, was when the mom was like, "Well, I'm going too." You know what I'm saying? I'll be with you the next day. You know what I'm saying? When he seen her turn around and look and write that down. Well, never mind. He didn't see her. I'm tripping. When he started writing it down and he was asking for the pencil and everything, when he seen that book and he seen her write that down, that's what it was. And he noticed that, he realized after a while, he had that flashback, like, damn, she wrote that down. Like, she seen it just like I did. I think that's what kind of helped him out, because he started realizing, like, yo, this is a different type of kid. This kid is not just a kid for real. Like, she's a damn near like a young adult. Like, she's super aware of the situation and she knows, what I'm saying, like, she's in danger just as much as I do. If I'm on par, she gonna be on par with me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what helped that connection grow. But I don't think that it was the car scene. I think it was with the mom. The mom definitely came in and set some shit straight.
She did, and I think that you're right about the swimming connection, because, and I think also what happened and something else that he realized about, like, when he seen her going off the blocks, he seen that she was scared of the blocks or whatever, whatnot. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the shot, when she was coming off the block. And I think that what it was when that sister had came up to him and he was like, "Oh, his parents couldn't make it," and she was like, "Well, today you're her father."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he got to
Yep.
realizing,
Yep.
like, these motherfuckers don't come to any of her events. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what he's
Mm-hmm.
starting to realize. Like, well, that's probably why she's so friendly to me, because her parents don't come to any of these things. And so
Right.
that's when he made a little connection. He was like, she was like, "Yo, I never win." He was like, "Well, you the fastest swimmer, but you slow as off the
Mm-hmm.
block. So what you got to do?" She was like, "Be faster off the block." And, so then he started working with her. So to see that relationship start to build, and then to see how what I'm saying they started really start because she really caught feelings for Creasy like really quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like I like the scene where they was with Paul and his wife
Mm-hmm.
and they were just sitting there tripping and talking about old times and shit and how they had a
Yeah.
plan and they was gonna stay single and he called them, "Yo, I'm in love," and he was like, "Oh," I thought that shit was cool, like to have Peter there because like it seemed like Peter never really was able to have like a normal life because like you said, her
Mm-hmm.
parent, well, really mostly her father is involved in whatever business he's
Some
involved in.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it seemed like they never really like took her out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because they were so afraid of her getting kidnapped. She just kind of just went to school and went home. And for her to be out
Yeah.
and to actually speak with somebody that Creasy knows, because I think that she wanted to get to know him even better. And for her to give him the necklace, with the St.
Yep.
Jude thing on it and all that type of stuff it was really good to see that whole relationship develop. But then to see how persistent. Like we're gonna get into the kidnappers. Like that's gonna be an interesting thing to talk
That's
about.
a fucked up situation.
It's really for the situation and to sit back like I don't know if somebody can hire me just like look yo this is what we're gonna do. We got this business right. And we just gonna snatch up kids and hold them for ransom. like,
But
like
the nigga doing it though, this is the craziest part of the whole thing. He's on the phone. Do you love your kids? Meanwhile, this nigga kids is playing
in the
at the table.
background. Yeah,
Like
yo,
fam, that you talking about disassociation. That was the hugest disconnect I've ever seen.
and he had a bunch of kids, and he just
Yeah.
snatching other people's kids. Like that
And
was
one
that
on the
was
way.
yeah, one on the way. She 8 months pregnant. So but to see how he had law enforcement involved. He had
Mm-hmm.
DA involved. Like he had all of these people. He had a whole organized. What was it? Los Hermandad. Uh, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the
that's what they
Brotherhood.
call themselves. So,
Yeah, Lyra
but
died.
to see how, because Creasy noticed the first time he took her to school, he noticed just one car, and then like a couple days later, see the same car goes. He followed them 3 times. So
Mm-hmm.
they one quote that they like to say, "I'm a professional." So it's just like
Oh
they
my
wait to the
goodness.
perfect moment to snatch
Mm-hmm.
your kid up. So they go to snatch up Peter, and Peter got away, but her love for Creasy, she saw Creasy, Creasy took. You want to talk about this?
Took three of
Creasy's
them
the real
things.
Tupac. Like he the
Yeah,
real
he took
Tupac,
three of
yo.
them
Like
things. But
no,
he
no, no,
took
not
at
Tupac.
least three people out.
Yeah, and 2 undercover officers, and so
Yep.
they took Peter only because she went back because the Creasy got shot. But
Mm-hmm.
to I just I don't know why it got me this time, but like the
Because you got
scene where
kids.
like yeah, true. But it's like when he snatched her up, and you know what I'm saying, they just got in the car and packed the door. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I don't care how much money y'all trying to pay me. If you just like, yo, look, we just want you to ride around with dude, and then when we make the move, you snatch up a kid and put him in a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I'm like, no, I'm not
But it's
fucking
so
doing that.
it's
Oh man, I
Can
think
you
we
hear
lost
me?
my guy. Yeah, now I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hold on.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's so crazy how um how corrupt just that whole area was. Like that whole area was so corrupt, bro. And it was, I mean, like everybody was involved on it. I mean, everybody was involved in it from the people that was higher up to the cops to, you know what I'm saying, the people in the news. It was some people in the news. Like it was just it was ridiculous how big of an operation they had at just snatching up kids and taking money. And then it was like it wasn't no chump change. They like 10 million every
Yeah,
trip. That was
man,
just wild to me, man.
man, and like, and then like they're not snatching regular kids. Like they're snatching everybody that have some kind of importance in Mexico City. Kids was getting snatched, and that
Yep.
that was just like when he was talking to the sister, and the first day that he dropped her off, and he had to sign in, and she was like, "Yo, I hate that this profession even have to exist." It's
Hmm.
like it's a very well known thing that all the prominent people in Mexico City has to pay a whole bunch of money to a bodyguard so their kid don't get snatched up. And kids are still getting snatched up for the simple fact
Right.
because the police are involved. The dude that is head of the kidnapping division is involved. So there's nothing that can be done to stop this but the route that Creasy took. That was the only way that this whole thing was going to stop is
Hmm.
because Creasy was like, he's like, yo, I'm not with the law enforcement and I'm a man that have nothing to lose. And at the time, he thought Peter was dead because of what happened at the drop. So what happened at the drop was basically like they called and told him all these directions of what to do. So they go to the drop. Well, what happened is the drop got ambushed. And so, but the police, well, the people that was involved still was able to get their money. So what happened in the process is the voice, the dude that's in charge, his cousin got killed. So it was like, well, since my cousin got killed on this job
No, it
dealing
was
with
his
Peter,
nephew.
nephew, yeah, it was his nephew. So he was like, yo, so now I got to kill her. So everybody think Peter's dead. So when Creasy get out of the hospital, you know what I'm saying, he ended up linking up with the reporter lady. Yo, listen, you want to talk about bad? That reporter lady, yo, I had to look up to see how old she was, dude. This lady's
Yeah, she
older
was
than my
cold.
mom, yo.
Yo, she was born in 58, bro.
53, bro.
Oh, 53.
Man, I'm
Man,
like, what?
cold piece.
Man, man, who we? So she's like, yo, like, you're gonna need help. You know, she knew what he was gonna do.
Hmm.
Like, she knew what he was gonna do, and she was like, I'm gonna help you, get through this because you're gonna need, more than yourself. So it gets dropped, and then what we tend to find out, throughout watching this shit, is that when Creasy, within his own little investigation with the reporter lady helping him, he figures out who is the source of this whole fucking thing.
The worst kind of
And
person. The worst kind of person.
the worst kind of person. But let me ask you who's worse though. This is the $1 million question right here.
Yeah.
Is it the dad or the lawyer? Because this is what all people got to also remember. The dad, from what he was told from setting this up, he was going to get a back end kick job because he didn't inherit a empire from his dad. He actually, he took in his dad's debt,
Yeah.
so he was low on bread. So he looked at it like, okay, so if I do this kidnapping, I can get a kickback and get us a jump start. And all she got to do, they told us she would sit in the room, eat ice cream, and watch TV. But the reason the whole shit got fucked up was because the lawyer put a whole bag of fucking paper in it. So the whole ransom was $10 million. And it was $5 million in each bag.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening was one bag had $5 million in it, but the other bag had nothing but paper in it.
Right.
And come find out, the lawyer stole the money. So really, at the end of the day, even though this was set up by the father, But the lawyer was the one that was quote unquote.
We ain't about to let the dad off the
No,
hook.
no,
Don't
no,
nobody
no,
care
no,
about the lawyer. The lawyer, he should have stole some money from that dirt bag because this stupid idiot, right? You could have found a way to pay off your dad's debts. You could have found a way to do something other than that. You mean to tell me that in order to move all your money, you had to get your kid kidnapped? That way, it'll look legit for you moving all this money. No, just do what everybody else do. Just move the money, pay it off, and then find a way to fix it later. You
no.
in
I'm
Me-
not let.
you in Mexico City. It ain't like the people was gonna be on your head, and then you already got offshore accounts, so it ain't gonna look. You know what I'm saying? It already look crazy. You got offshore accounts.
I listen. I am not taking out the dad. It's the dad's
Yeah,
fault.
one
But
hundred
what I'm
percent.
but what I'm saying is like for the lawyer to do it. I think that's more of like that's what your dumb ass get type of thing
Yeah.
because he was like, but at the same time, like the lawyer, okay, the father's responsible, but I'm just saying that the lawyer is
Hmm.
also responsible for her quote unquote getting killed
Well, he
because
got what he deserves. So
oh yeah, he got his head chopped off.
yeah.
Yeah, like yo, that was great. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Yo, I'm gonna tell you the best scene in this movie, man. Right here, this might be one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen. Right here,
Hmm.
and that's why I say I forgot how good this shit was. So when he finally got the dude that was head of the kidnapping division, and my man woke up, he's strapped to a hood of a car,
Yeah. Oh
and he
my
was like,
goodness.
he said, "Listen," he said, "This is what we got here." He said, "You got," I forget what they call it. He was like, people. He's like, inmates use it to put drugs, money
No, it
in
was a
it.
condom.
It wasn't a condom. It was shit.
No,
But
it was a
anyway,
condom.
man, it wasn't a condom, man. It was I forget what they call it, but anyway, so he's like they stick it up, they wrecked them to hide things. He was like, you
Hmm.
got this. This is the receiver. This is the such and such. It sends a signal to the receiver. He's like C4. He was like, that's what you got up your ass right now. And
Hey
he's like,
man.
hey,
Hey man.
listen. He said, don't move, don't move, don't move. Yo.
Hey man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If any time was the time to doodle on yourself, that was it. That was the one.
Yo,
That
I'm
was the
telling you,
one.
there's no way, dude. There's no way that was in the script, man. Denzel
No,
improv that shit, yo.
no. Let me tell you. So you might be right about that part, but did you know that every scene between Christopher Walken and Denzel was improvised. None of that was written in the script. And then the scene between him and Dakota Fanning where she was talking about you smiled, that was all improvised.
Dude, that was a great scene too. I like
Yeah.
that scene
Yeah.
because he was like, that wasn't a smile, that was a smirk.
Yeah,
Like,
that was between him and her, that was all improvisation. And
yeah,
then
I like that.
everything with him and Christopher Walken when they talk, then wasn't none of that in the script. They all were just off the fly.
And that's the thing about working with the same director.
Yep.
They trust you. They're like, hey, just whatever you're feeling at this moment, get that shit off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I thought that was a great scene too. But like just the way that he was able to, after he told him, he said, "Yo, that's what's up your ass right now.
Man, that was
Don't
crazy.
move.
That
Don't
was so
move.
crazy.
Don't." I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so cold." And he was like, "Yo," he's like, "You got 5 minutes to tell me what's going on." And he kept doing the countdown. And he was like, "Well," he's like, he said, "Look, I got all the time in the world. You
Yeah, he
don't,
was like, you don't.
but I do." Hey, I'm talking about that shit was so cold. And then he was like, "Yo," he was like, "Man, look, well, I gotta go." He's like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute." And he was like, he asked him something. He was like, "I wish you had more time."
Man.
It was just like, he walked away. Yo, can you imagine? Like the first thing that blow up is your ass.
No, let me tell
Oh
you
man.
what the cold part was. The cold part was the fact that the timer went off, and
Yeah.
he clinched up, and nothing happened, and then he gave a nice little sigh of relief, and that right after he did that, kablooey, it was over with. Oh, you talking about Saudi, man?
Man, that was to me, that was the best interaction of a scene that I ever seen. I like the scene with him in the car when he was cutting my dude fingers off too.
Hmm.
Like that was
That
a
was
cold
actually
scene.
crazy. Yeah, that was actually crazy.
Yeah, I just like when he asked him a question and, and he really didn't know. He
Man.
just threw his head on the steering wheel. He's like, no see, no see. He was like, I believe you. It was just so funny because you could tell like he was like, all right, I'm gonna give you what you want. And then he asked him a
Hmm.
question because he told him at first, you know what I'm saying? No see, no see. And then that motherfucker cut that finger off, and then he told him. And then when he really didn't know, he just dropped his head. He was like, man.
Because he already knew what was going on.
He already knew, like, I don't know for real, man. I
Yeah.
don't know. But that was cold. But for the scene of where we kidnapped his brother and and he told him that he couldn't be bought. He shot his brother hand off and all that shit. And he was like, yo, he's like, he said, I give you her life for your life.
Hmm.
Who life you talking about? It's like the little girl, Peter. He was like, Peter's dead. He's like, no. And he asked for proof of life and all that shit and found out that she was like that was in another scene that was cold was when he found out that I was about to call him Daniel. He's not Daniel because Daniel is the voice. But Samuel, when he
Yeah.
found out that Samuel was involved
Oh my
and
goodness.
oh man, that scene was so wild. And that to finish my point, full circle of the bullet. He tried to shoot himself, the gun didn't go off, and he kept that bullet. He kept the bullet
Hmm.
on him. And so then when look, dude, I'm telling you, Lisa Ramos, she was able. I'm pretty sure when she read the script, she was like, "Yo, this is dope. I get to just go around and just smack a bunch of people and nobody do nothing to me."
She's smacking the
Yo,
shit out people.
she smacked the shit out of all the people when he was like, uh, he was gonna kill Peter, and she was
Hmm.
smacking all the people when she was on her way out,
She
and
whooped
she
that
was telling
lady
everybody
ass
to
though.
go to her house.
She
Oh
whooped that
yeah,
lady ass.
and but no, like that scene was crazy, and for that bullet to go full circle, where he gave him the gun and the bullet, and he was like, "Yo, it didn't work for me, but maybe it'll work for you."
Hmm.
And he was just like, you are responsible for killing Peter. But to do the whole thing of trade my life for her life, I think that even if Creasy knew he wasn't dying, because he got shot again.
Hmm.
Uh, Daniel brother shot him. So and then like he couldn't stop bleeding from the first three shots that he got.
Right.
So because I know for some people like it's easy to say well he was dying anyway,
Hmm.
but I think just that short amount of time, like he really loved that little girl, and like
Yeah.
and for him to trade his life for her life, you know, that was that was dope.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Um, you ready for the fire flames, man?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Okay. So what you giving this joint?
Um, Cast was great. Um, even when it comes to the lady that played Lisa Ramos, like I've seen her in a lot of shit.
Hmm.
She's done countless good movies, man. The Silent Hill, she was in that. You
She
know what
did
I'm
a great
saying?
job in Silent Hill.
She definitely did a really good job in Silent Hill. Um, and she also plays what's the name wife in uh White not White House Down, the other one. Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
She played Gerard Butler's wife in that, but she did a good job. Dakota did a good job. Denzel, Christopher Walken. So the cast was really good. Tony Scott got another one. Another Denzel movie. I'm trying to think back. Like we've done maybe like 3 Denzel movies, maybe. I have to
Probably
go
more
back
than
and look. I
that.
can't remember. It might even be more than that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I've given like really pretty much all of them a 5, and I'm gonna keep that going. This is a 5. I thought that this movie was really good. It was going back and watching it this time around. I was like, damn, like I really forgot how good this movie was,
Hmm.
and I'm rolling with a 5, man.
I agree with you, man. I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. Like you said, the cast is amazing. The story in itself, even though I know this is a book adaptation, but there were some things added, some things taken out. Um, but not only that, to plug in some, you know what I'm saying, some real life situations and then make this as relatable as it was in at the time, modern day, is already a great thing. And then to have somebody, you know what I'm saying, like Denzel put on the portrayal the way he did, you know what I'm saying, he did an amazing job. I mean, I ain't gonna say stole the show because the movie was about him, but he did a great job. Dakota Fanning actually stole the show because her character was amazing as well. Um,
Mhm.
and just to see, you know what I'm saying, the character progression, the story progression, you know what I'm saying, the story turns that they had in there. Um, and then not only that, like you got to give credit to Mark Anthony too, because he did a great job as well. For
Yeah.
him to, you know what I'm saying, for him not to be an actor, for him to be a singer, but to come in and do the, you know what I'm saying, the job that he did in this movie was amazing as well. Um, Man, it's just from beginning to end is you stay glued in, and I enjoyed it. So for sure, definitely giving it a 5.
Yeah, man, and you're so right about Mark Anthony because I'm telling you, like Mark Anthony is not what we would call a phenomenal actor. Yo, when he was
No,
in, wasn't it Dangerous Minds? Wasn't it? Uh,
I don't even know if it was
I think
Dangerous
it was.
Minds.
Was it? It was either that or the Substitute
It
that he was
might
in.
have been a substitute.
Man, he was terrible.
Yeah,
I
but I
was like,
mean,
yeah.
you know,
He was
he's a
terrible
singer.
in that movie, yo.
He's a singer, man.
But he killed this shit though. He did a
Yeah,
really good job. He did a really good job in this one. So shout out to Mark Anthony for real.
yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's jump into the coming soon, brother.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, what we got next?
Man, listen, we got one for y'all, man. We haven't done one of these in a while. We really been slipping when it comes to these type movies, man. We haven't gave y'all one since we did the Sandlot. And we
Mm,
coming with a classic. And I got another one we need to do.
okay.
Hold on. Look, just let me improv here for a quick second.
Do you think?
Let me tell you one of my favorite kids movies that nobody talks about anymore. And we need to do this shit the next calendar year. The Ladybugs. Please tell me you've seen the Ladybugs. Man, you never seen a movie where
I had to watch it to make sure I ain't seen it.
I forget what my man name is, comedian. You'll know who he is. What's my man name? No, that ain't it.
The
You know the
ladybugs, the
comedian, man.
ladybugs, the ladybugs. Oh my goodness. What else has he played in?
Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
Rodney Dangerfield.
so basically what his
I may have seen it then.
it basically like it was he was coaching like he was working for this company and they asked him to coach this female soccer team and the
Hmm.
girls was terrible and he was dating this lady and her son he ended up putting the son on the soccer team and had him wear a wig, right, and to pretend that he was a
I
girl.
definitely probably seen this then. Yeah,
Yo,
that's hilarious.
the all time scene is the other team had knocked down the girl and the girl fell and she
Hmm.
said, she broke my nail. She said, Mom, those bitches broke my nail. And then they said, and then the dad said, get those nail breakers.
Hey man,
Hey, but I'm talking about comedy.
what's the one Rodney Dangerfield movie, bro, where he's the TV show host. Um Oh my God, it's skipping me right now, but we gotta do that one too because that shit is hilarious. But it's
Yeah,
another one where he's the TV show host and he's supposed to be doing the TV show for one of the senators. It might be in South Carolina too, but it's an older movie. But you talk about hilarious, bro. That shit is comedy.
yeah, like yeah,
Rodney Dangerfield
definitely.
got some joints.
Yeah, he do, man. In this movie, I thought this movie was so funny. But anyway, the movie that we're doing, man, we're doing the Little
Mhm.
Giants, man.
Oh
Like
yeah,
this,
oh yeah,
man, this movie, this bring back memories, but
yeah.
Icebox, but you know what
Come on,
I'm
man. Football is 80% mental, 20% physical, man.
saying?
Never forget that.
Yes, sir, man. Man, they put my boy come out with the stick'em. Hey, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun doing this, man. We haven't done a movie
yeah.
like this in a while, so we got Little Giants, man, coming up for y'all, man. Give y'all a good laugh for an
For
episode.
sure, man. For sure. And the best thing about this movie is that they had my man Ed O'Neill in here. And
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? They made the town that they was from a fictional Ohio town. Cause that's where he actually from. So I was like, yeah, that's what made it dope for me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, they in Ohio. So that definitely made me want to play some football, watch the Little Giants, man. So yeah, I can't wait to do this one.
Yeah, this is
It's
definitely
gonna
gonna be
bring
fun.
back some good memories, man. But listen, if you guys like this episode, if you didn't like this episode, if you know what I'm saying, you want some more, you don't want no more, hit us up, let us know on the socials, on Instagram and Twitter at View9Pod. You could also hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. And then for me, you can hit me up on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. Hopefully Twitter is still standing in the next few months. If not, I got a link here in the bio. Hurry up, get there. Follow me everywhere else.
Hey, boy, you is not kidding, but I've been hearing some things going around
Yeah,
about Twitter, but
Elon messing
75
up
people
already,
walked out
man.
because he gave them motherfuckers an ultimatum. But they
Hey,
said
man.
75% of the people walked out. Yo, that's
Hey.
crazy.
I mean,
Um,
it may be a good thing because we might just start getting people who actually, you know what I'm saying, listen and actually want to do some things and, you know what I'm saying, some new tech jobs may be available, but I don't know. That's a scary one.
it definitely is. But man, y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on Twitter. If it's still there. At 28 minutes or less pod. That's just on IG. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Um, I feel like I got one of the ones out, man. Go check out episode 105, man. I did an episode on dreams, man, where I should have hit my guy up first because he came up with two of the best damn names, and I wasn't even thinking about it, man.
Yeah,
So, but go check out the episode Dreams, man. It's out there in the world. Let me know what you think.
for
Oh,
sure.
4-3.
Yep. 4-3 tomorrow. Well, 4-3 today, 10:30. If you missed it, go to the 4-3 page on Facebook. You can rewatch it, or you go to the 4-3 Twitter and rewatch it there too for as long as Twitter is surviving. And until then, man, listen. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. It is all greatly appreciated. Remember you can only watch us on Spotify. Hopefully my laptop is up and running and fixed so I can load them watchable episodes up. But until then, though, if you can't do that, don't forget you can always listen to us. Don't fret. And shout out to the people that listen on Apple. You guys are giving us so much love. It is super, 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 super appreciated. And with that being said, man, like I said, Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.